This is RTV6 News at 7, working for you.
Thanks for joining us here at 7 o'clock. I'm Mark Mullins. It is a Storm Team 6 alert day. The evening cool down is underway, and it is only the beginning here. There's a freeze warning for this weekend. Chief Meteorologist Kevin Gregory here now with the details. Kevin.
And all eyes on that thermometer and the falling temperatures. I just wanted to show you, Mark, and all of you at home, we're not alone. The freeze warnings go all the way down into northern Georgia and back into the central plains. Temperatures will not be this cold again within the 7-day planner. The entire state of Indiana will likely see temperatures in the upper 20s to lower 30s. As far as what's happening now, skies are clearing. There's a look over Putnam County and Greencastle. And DePauw's campus, you can still see the trees waving in that strong wind. The wind will calm down. Peru's about ready to do it. They're at 42, about ready to lead the way into the 30s. It's 50 in Terre Haute. Temperatures tonight as the wind calms down. We've dropped the gusts just a little bit, but we've had gusts to 37. The wind overnight after midnight will drop under 10 miles per hour. This is what we start our Mother's Day weekend with. Temperatures upper 20s. That's a record tying 29, by the way, for Indianapolis. And temperatures through the morning hours tomorrow start to recover rather quickly. We'll be at 48 at noon with sunshine. We'll talk about the second headline of the weekend. We'll do that when I come back.
We'll see you in a few minutes, Kevin. Thank you. Now to our continuing coverage of the COVID-19 pandemic and its impact on Indiana. More than 1,300 Hoosiers have now died from coronavirus. The state health department says more than 23,000 Hoosiers have tested positive for the virus. More than 130,000 people have been tested in Indiana. As the pandemic continues, a Hendricks County community is helping local small businesses prepare to reopen. Town leaders in Brownsburg say they know small businesses often don't have many resources. Tonight, our Nicole Griffin reports a $35,000 grant program is aiming to help.
During the pandemic, we've showed you here on RTV6 some of the challenges and struggles that small business owners have faced just to keep their doors open. Tonight, we're hearing from the owners of a Brownsburg coffee shop who tell us they actually had to close for several weeks during the pandemic. After keeping in touch for years after college, these two Purdue grads opened Best Friends Coffee and Bagels in Brownsburg in 2018.
He's the coffee guy, I'm the food guy, and it just works out.
The store was doing well up until the pandemic. They tried to stay open with curbside delivery, and for weeks, the community support was overwhelming. They even started selling hundreds of T-shirts to bring in money, but eventually they had to make the tough choice to close their doors.
At the time, we weren't really certain if and when we were going to open back up. We had given up on the PPP, and we got the second wave of that. When we weren't really expecting it.
On Wednesday, after 5 weeks, they were able to open back up. They also just learned Thursday they have been awarded $1,000 in grant money from the town of Brownsburg.
It's very important to get the economy moving again, get people back to work. It's very important for a small business to open because they create a lot of jobs.
It lets me know that, despite everything that's going on, with this, one, we're going to make it through, two, and that, two, that the town of Brownsburg really has our back.
The grant money is intended to help small businesses that don't have a lot of resources reopen. The coffee shop owners plan to buy PPE for staff, sanitizing stations, and barriers to keep everyone safe. Working for you in Brownsburg, Nicole Griffin, RTV6.
The Tyson plant up in Logansport is back open after closing for 2 weeks due to hundreds of coronavirus cases. However, not all the workers reported back to work. One of them, Greg Whitehouse, tells RTV6 he's not going back because he's scared he could catch COVID-19 and pass it along to family members.
They say the ones that get affected the worst are the elderly and the children. Well, I'm around elderly people. I'm around children every day. And I'm going to be 50 next year, so it's not worth it.
Greg tells us more about the situation he says workers are facing at the Logansport plant tonight on RTV6 News at 11. School districts around the country are working to come up with reopening plans, and now we're seeing what the CDC recommends. The Associated Press uncovered a document with guidelines from the agency. For schools and daycares, they recommend staff wear masks and that toys and other items are shared as little as possible. And schools should not use common areas like playgrounds and cafeterias. They also recommend maintaining 6 feet of social distancing when possible. State and districts will come up with their own policies. Those are just suggestions. Working together, a family running 2 separate businesses in Carroll County has found a solution to a problem facing first responders as they now have to wear face coverings full time. RTV6's Rafael Sanchez takes a look.
Slow and steady. They're laser focused on this project in Delphi. Hometown shirts and iconic graphics are making and donating what they call mask hooks. The hooks allow first responders to wrap the elastic bands of their face coverings around their head to address complaints of sore ears and masks not fitting tightly.
I think if you can just help your food banks, anybody that's trying to do something like this, help them any way you can with donations or, it's hard when you don't have the equipment to make that. Luckily, we have the equipment, we can design, we can do all that in-house.
The hooks carry special messages, including not all heroes wear capes and thank you. The Delphi businesses have donated more than 28,000 of the hooks to hospitals and law enforcement agencies around the country. Recently, the Collier County Sheriff's Office on the Gulf Coast of Florida sent a certificate and a letter of appreciation.
There's so many things we touch every day.
Donations support the production of the hooks, and so does the sale of this tool known as the no-touch handle. The $10 device allows people to minimize touching a door or even an ATM keypad.
Rafael Sanchez with that report. He spoke to Trish last week, and since then, the new donation total is more than $35,000. You can learn more about the hooks by going to the website on your screen right now, hometownshirts.com. Mother's Day is this coming Sunday. After the break, the working moms at RTV6 show you how their lives have changed since their living rooms have become their offices. Plus, thousands of Hoosiers are impacted by diabetes, and the Tour de Cure is working to raise awareness. Still ahead tonight, how their annual event will be a little different this year.
Working for you. This is RTV6 News at 7. Working for you.
The race for governor continues, and we now know who will run alongside the presumptive Democratic nominee in this year's election. Today, Dr. Woody Myers named former state lawmaker Linda Lawson as his running mate. Lawson served 20 years in the State House before retiring in 2018. She was the first woman to be named minority leader in the House, but Myers says her experience outside the legislature is also important.
She served for 24 years in the Hammond Police Department and saw firsthand the need for common sense gun laws. She also fought for public schools during her 12 years as a Hammond, Indiana school board member.
Recent polling has shown that Myers appears to be an underdog in the head-to-head race against Governor Holcomb. Holcomb also has a significant fundraising advantage in the race. Potentially dire consequences. Those are the words the Postmaster General is using right now as the U.S. Postal Service looks ahead to the rest of the year and the pandemic's impact on that agency. Business started to take a hit in March because of the coronavirus, but it's only gotten worse since then. In a press release today, the Postal Service warned that trend could threaten its survival. The amount of mail is plummeting and it's losing more and more money. The Postmaster General is calling on Congress and the Trump administration to help shore up its finances. With Mother's Day fast approaching, we're highlighting some of our own moms here at RTV6 and how their daily lives, like yours, have been changed during the pandemic. Lauren Casey takes us inside her home after her work day here at WRTV.
Well, there's nothing quite like this, getting to come home from work to this smiling face. My son Archie turned a year old during this global pandemic, but for him, the days don't look much different than before. My husband and I still get to go into work. My amazing mom takes care of Archie during the morning while I'm away, and our afternoons are the best. filled with dancing, learning, playing, a little Sesame Street, and maybe a nap if we're lucky. And while it's so hard being away from him at the station, I know how lucky I am to have a job and to have a husband and mom to watch him while I'm working. And some of my own hardworking RTV6 colleagues who aren't here with me at the station are navigating what it's like to work from home while also being mom.
Hey, it's Call 6 Investigates Kara Kenny. I am about to host a town hall meeting from my dining room right here.
It's Troy Washington with RTV6, and I've got my coworker right here with me.
And because I'm a working mom, I now have to figure out what to do with my kids. My husband is working upstairs, so I'm taking the kids over to the neighbors. So, Stella and Mila, let's go.
Yeah. So she's been along for this ride. Can't wait to tell her about this when she gets older.
And you know how they say it takes a village? Well, we couldn't have done it without our neighbors who've been helping us out this whole time. Say hi, Stella.
Hi. Who am I talking to?
Oh, just some viewers.
I'm Stella, and I'm Stella, and I'm 6.
She's 6. Come on, Mila.
Those Zoom interviews, I've got a baby in the background. But most people are very understanding.
Look before you cross.
We're working moms too. We have our children at home with us, and we're figuring it out just like you.
And there you have it. An hour and a half to get some work done.
Working from home with a 9-month-old is something I would definitely never forget, but it's something I'll cherish always. Say bye-bye, Riley Grace. I think she's over it.
Lauren Casey, RTV6.
Adorable there. And Stella might be a young reporter right there. Hey, whether you are a stay-at-home mom, a grandma who doubles as a nanny, a working mom, or work-from-home mom in honors of a Mother's Day, we just want to say thank you. Happy Mother's Day. Coming up here on RTV6, we'll tell you why scientists are trying to find a cure for coronavirus. They have a lot of love for llamas. The reason behind that. Maybe you'll have a lot of love for them, too. Coming up.
Clear and cold tonight in central Indiana. Mild with some rain chances increasing on Mother's Day. Forecast for the weekend and beyond coming up.
Contact Culligan, the local water experts.
Hundreds of thousands of Hoosiers are managing diabetes on a daily basis. The American Diabetes Association's Indiana Tour to Cure is one of the biggest fundraisers and ways to raise awareness about the disease. Our Alyssa Donovan has details on how this event will be a little different this year.
Due to COVID-19 and recommended social distancing, the annual Indiana Tour to Cure is going virtual. The American Diabetes Association will still be holding the event, but everyone is encouraged to make it their own.
Everyone can come out into their own neighborhoods, pick their own route. They can walk, run, or ride.
More than 700,000 Hoosiers are living with diabetes. Experts are worried those numbers will rise due to the pandemic.
We're really concerned that with everyone staying home, working from home, we're worried that when we come out of this, we'll have even more people with pre-diabetes just due to improper nutrition and not having physical activity as we normally would.
That's why they're encouraging anyone and everyone to participate in the Tour to Cure. You can register online for free to participate and donate to the cause. Participants are encouraged to share their journey, whether they walk, run, or ride, on social media. In the past, the Indiana Tour to Cure has raised around $500,000 for the American Diabetes Association, and that money goes to diabetes research and local programming. They hope that this year they'll be able to beat that number. I'm Alyssa Donovan, RTV6.
Researchers are going to great lengths to develop a coronavirus treatment. They're even looking up at llamas for help. They discovered that antibodies in llama blood could keep the virus from spreading. They've seen promising results in lab tests, but they still need to clear a few hurdles before testing in people. Llamas have actually been used in research for years now. Scientists were able to develop therapies for HIV and the flu over the past decade using studies involving llama antibodies. With the global cases of the coronavirus approaching 4 million, there is one place that remains unscathed. Antarctica has no recorded cases. It's being called the safest place in the world, and the 5,000 scientists who live and work there would like to keep it that way. Winter is approaching, which typically means the continent is completely cut off from new visitors. There are about 80 different bases on Antarctica, which houses scientists from around the world.
Mark, winter approaching for them. Temperatures feel like winter tonight. Will fall into the 20s. How about that? They would be record tying. So if you're going to be that close, you might as well set a record and get historical credit. The record goes back to 1947. Looks good. Look out your window. Compare it to what you see here. Looking north from downtown Indianapolis. The skies have been clearing from northwest to southeast throughout the afternoon. Sun does not set until 8:47. If somebody's in your neighborhood this evening mowing their lawn, I bet you they have a heavy coat on at 45 degrees with a 20-mile-per-hour north wind. Feels mighty chilly. The wind will calm down. Temperatures will continue to fall. These are all current temperatures. 42 in Marion, Howard County, Kokomo, Greentown at 42, Logansport 43. Southern portion of the state, temperatures still clinging to the upper 40s to low 50s. 51 in Bedford. Temperatures overnight are poised, as we mentioned, statewide to drop into the 20s. The freeze warning statewide and throughout the entire Midwest. There's your record going all the way back into the 1940s. We will not be this cold again within the 7-day forecast. From north to south, if you have plants that are sensitive, which many are, you need to cover those if you've already planted those. If they're in planters or hanging baskets, bring those inside at least through about 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. Then the sunshine will go to work and start to warm temperatures the other way. Temperatures during the day tomorrow, mid-50s. Will hold off on rain until Mother's Day. Not perfect timing. Rain chances will go up in the afternoon, then we're dry again early next week. Magic number 55 during the day tomorrow. 56, but the change between tomorrow and Sunday, the wind will pick up Sunday and the temperature stays about the same, but our rain chances return. Temperatures tomorrow, you see the arc of the warm-up from morning lows below freezing all the way into the mid-50s. Rain chances will increase, especially in the afternoon in Indianapolis. I think in western Indiana, some of the rain will develop earlier than that. 7 a.m., the gray of cloud cover will take this to 10 a.m. There's some rain, Terre Haute to Lafayette up toward Kokomo. That will push east, increasing the chance of rain for Indianapolis and the eastern portion of the state in the afternoon into the evening hours. May hear a rumble of thunder as well. Temperatures will finally move back into the 70s next week. We have to wait a while. Thursday and Friday, 75 for the high temperature, both Thursday and Friday with rain and a chance for thunderstorms. That's down the road, but something to look forward to. And notice overnight lows back to around 60 compared to the 20s where we'll be tonight. And we'll be right back after this.
.org/St. Vincent Hart.
RTV6 loves to put the focus on people working together during this pandemic. Rosie's Place in Noblesville prepared 60 meals for the hardworking staff at Maple Park Village Assisted Living in Westfield. They have also donated to IU North, Ascension St. Vincent and Carmel, and 86th Street with the help of donations from local organizations. Rosie's Place will not be opening its dining room on May 11th when the state allows restaurants to open. Instead, they will continue with no-contact curbside pickup for the foreseeable future at all 3 locations until they can find a safe way to welcome guests back inside. Singer Michael Bublé has announced a new date for his Indianapolis concert. It was originally set for April 1st, but postponed due to coronavirus. The new date is March 18th of next year at Bankers Life Fieldhouse. All previously sold tickets will be honored. And the Billy Joel concert scheduled for next month at Notre Dame postponed is pushed back a year. The concert was scheduled for Saturday, June 20th. The new date is June 26th, 2021. Facebook's redesign is now official. The social media giant announced its impending changes last year, saying the update would be a more simple desktop design. The new design is almost entirely white with very little of Facebook's signature blue color. There's also now the option to use dark mode on the desktop site. The changes should happen automatically, or you can switch over manually by clicking Switch to New Facebook. A new app could be a big help for some parents homeschooling during the coronavirus pandemic. Google has launched the Read Along app for Android. It can help children 5 and up learn to read by giving verbal and visual feedback as they read stories out loud. Google says the app uses speech recognition to help kids develop literacy skills. It was originally launched in India and is now available in over 180 countries in 9 languages. A man in Iowa says he just received a postcard from his sister more than 32 years after she sent it. His younger sister mailed it to him from Arizona in 1987. But by some happenstance, the postcard just made its way to the rightful recipient this week. 76-year-old Paul Willis said he went to check his mail, just like he does at noon every day, and saw the postcard in his mailbox. Willis called his local post office and asked how it happened. They told him that many of the post offices were doing deep cleanings because of COVID-19, so they think it was found by somebody that they thought it was enough to stick it in the mail.
How about that? 1987 doesn't sound that long ago, does it? Sunshine tomorrow, Mark. We'll work our way from the 20s into the 50s. Have a good weekend.
All right. And thanks for joining us for RTV6 News at 7. We're back with you tonight at 11. Have a great evening, everyone.